Yo, what's up, guys? It's Francis, and I'm over here talking about this ESO Online. It's the end of the first quarter of 2017, and we're going to talk about how much this game has changed initially. Now, I was one of those first guys that hyped into the hype train for the ESO Online, the ESO experience, and when I first tried it out, it was kind of cool, and then, the magic started to wear off, because there wasn't enough content. There wasn't enough this and that, and it was kind of buggy, but now, it's a different story. Alright, so let's get to what's different about the game now. So what's different is that they have a dungeon grouper thing. So just like World of Warcraft and every other MMO, well, not every other MMO, but World of Warcraft, I know, has one, is like you could find a group easily, and that really helps out if you're trying to get gear. Because not a lot of us are going to form guilds that go every day and raid. And also, the World versus World thing. Now, World versus World is where you, have like the Daggerfall Covenant and all the other, the Dominion and the Pact. All you guys are fighting for resources, and that's something that is really cool. You get to set up siege weapons and everything, and invade other castles and take keeps and steal other Elder Scrolls. But that's always has been there. The whole PvP thing has been there. Well, they have dungeons now in the PvP environment, which is kind of interesting. I like how the one area that does allow PvP is Cyrodiil, which is how we know, well, some of us know it as the Oblivion place. Cyrodiil, where the Imperials live, where they have the white gold tower. That's what it was called, right? Well, that's cool. We get to invade, we get to be emperors or whatever if we, win a war. And that's kind of cool that you can win a war in a game and become an emperor. Now, I will compare this game with other games that are out right now that are MMOs. I'm not going to compare it with, like, a game that is not an MMO, but, games in the same classes. Now, what I like about Elder Scrolls Online is that I can steal stuff from people. And yes, they've implemented the stealing, which is cool because I always wanted to do the Thieves Guild and, jack everybody. There's not enough things that you can loot around yet, but it's so much better than when it started off. When you first started off, is you would be in a room and you could only loot like 2 or 3 things in a room. Now you can loot maybe 4 or 5 things in a room. You can go everywhere and start looting. I love it. And especially when you go into the PvP area, which is Cyrodiil, you could loot so many things, do quests, and while you're doing this quest, people are going to start attacking you. You're going to have to defend stuff. You're going to have to build fortifications. Rebuild fortifications, build siege weapons, and that's really cool. I dig it. That kind of gives me the vibe that, that some certain areas are secure and other areas are not. So where you're questing, where you're primarily questing, it's secured. It always has been that way. But whenever you venture on to Cyrodiil, you're not secure. You could be raided, you could be attacked by somebody else. Now that's some people are kind of wanting to go around and kill people in their kingdoms and stuff. Well, maybe they might introduce something like that later. But as of now, it's still limited to Cyrodiil PvP only. Now, one thing that has changed is level scaling throughout the world, and I will get more on detail after this cut. So back on the scaling. So when the game first came out, it wasn't like the other Elder Scroll games where you could just wander around and do whatever the fuck you wanted. No, you had to stick to the theme park based. Go to quest A and B, and you have to be certain levels to perform quest A and B. But now you can just go anywhere you want, and the area scales to your level. So that's really cool if you have a high level character, and then avatar, whatever you want to call it, and then your buddy has like a level 5 or a new pawn. So that's really cool. So both of you guys can venture, or even you could go even if you're playing solo, you can go anywhere you want without worrying if you're high enough level or if that area has too much of a low loot quality, because you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's just you get every item that you get is going to be catered to your level and your level of expertise, whether you're, and by expertise I mean tailoring or blacksmithing. So everything just works out perfectly, and it kind of feels more like a real Elder Scrolls game. As you can see, the PvP is also great. PvP is always scaled, so you don't have to worry about scaling PvP. Here's on comparison to other games. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen me play Black Desert Online. That's another game that I play. Black Desert Online has better graphics to me. There's more to do, but unfortunately, Black Desert Online is just a multiplayer single-player game. And by that, I mean you're only pretty much doing shit for yourself. You're not really interacting with other people. In Elder Scrolls, you got hella interaction going on with people. You're PvPing. Pretty much the PvP in Black Desert Online, as far as I know, is non-existent. And there's so much fucking bullshit to do in Black Desert Online that it just fucking sucks, in my opinion. It's entertaining. I like to play. I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I'm beyond this game. No, I'm not beyond this game. But one of the good things about Black Desert Online is that the graphics are awesome. The combat is awesome. I wish Elder Scrolls had a combat system like that, but it's more because this game is a Korean, more Eastern vibe to it. So it has, that, Street Fighter kind of bullshit that is going on. And we all get it. We like Street Fighter. We like nice graphics. And one of the things that does bother me, it doesn't bother everybody's, but it's so, like, every female class is just like, they're like wearing this like bikini armor, and it kind of like pisses me off because like I like realism. I like immersive realism. I want shit to be realistic. I want it to feel like, hey man, I want to be immersed, but I can't be immersed when I'm like pretty much playing in an anime fantasy land for where every weebo is just drooling over every fucking female class that he sees, and everybody's just over there doing nonsense, just staring at a NPC or staring at another player and dancing around them. And it's like, okay, dude, come on. How old are we? At least, or is it just my things? Like, I prefer real women, but not trying to like talk shit or anything. To each his own. It's just not my thing. So as far as that goes, graphics are better in Black Desert, but there's just a little bit. The game feels the Elder Scrolls to me is fun. It's a little bit more fun to play. It might lack on some of the innovation that Black Desert Online has, but I'd rather play Elder Scrolls just because I can loot shit from other people, steal, and, do things like that. But I'm not gonna lie and tell you that Black Desert Online isn't a beautiful game with a lot of content, because there is a lot of content. Unfortunately, Black Desert Online lacks a lot of things like multiple armor classes, which you only have one armor class, and it seems to sync to everything. So there's no like chainmail, no plate or anything like that, or light, medium, and heavy armor like the Elder Scrolls. No, you just have one armor, and it's like a rebar armor, and it fits all classes, which is kind of weird. The only thing that is class exclusive is weaponry. So weaponry is not class exclusive. Only certain classes could use certain weapons, which I get it. But let's talk about how beautiful this game is. It's really beautiful, but we're not going to talk about this game, are we, that much? We're just going to do comparisons on where Elder Scrolls lacks. Now, I do want an Elder Scrolls graphics revamp. But that being said, dude, Elder Scrolls even plays on MacBooks, and MacBooks aren't known for their video game quality. Now we're going to talk about Guild Wars 2, because that game does have awesome graphics quality that can be played in multiple gaming machines. It doesn't even have to be like a high-end PC, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about the comparison about Elder Scrolls versus Guild Wars 2. Now, to me, Elder Scrolls feels like they ripped off Guild Wars 2, like a massive rip-off, because you have two things that are very similar between each of the games. Is that they're zone-based, as in like each zone is a map, and both of these games work like that. Now, they also have switching classes. You switch slots. So on both games, you could alternate between two sets of weapons, and you could also get the skills that the weapons give you. So if you're using a shield, you have shield skills. So is the same thing on Elder Scrolls Online, which is kind of weird. I swear play both of the games, they're ripping each other off. But I like to give credit to Guild Wars 2 for doing it right. It feels so natural, it's so fluid, and it's so much fun to play. Also, one of the things that I like about Guild Wars 2 is the scenery. The scenery is a little bit better, the graphics are better, in my opinion, in Guild Wars 2. I don't know how that happened, because Elder Scrolls, they were working on the graphics so much, and I just don't know where all that work on the graphics. I think that they made the graphics just on Elder Scrolls a little bit more polished for optimization, You can't play Guild Wars on a MacBook, but you can play Elder Scrolls on a MacBook. I give them props because you're going for a wider audience. Obviously, Bethesda just wanted to make more money, and that's okay. But Guild Wars does it better. The gameplay is just a little bit better on Guild Wars. I like the combat in Guild Wars compared to Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls combat is just kind of turn-based to me. It feels more turn-based. It's more roll the dice. But the quest in Elder Scrolls is better. I like the questing in Elder Scrolls. It's way better. Why? Because you could actually talk to people, and in Guild Wars you're just zone questing, which is you're going on one area and you're completing tasks for one person in a zone. It's not like you're going around and doing things like in the Elder Scrolls, but you know, they have different advantages. Most people might find one or the other better, so I don't know about. So now with all that massive shit talking, you guys probably think that I just absolutely would rather play Guild Wars 2. No, as you can see by this video, is that World versus World in Elder Scrolls is heavily populated. There's a queue to get in. In Guild Wars, it's not like that. You know, it's kind of barren. I only found these guys going around trying to get into this fortress. And you can see in the Elder Scrolls, it's like, dude, there's a massive battle going around. There's a lot of people trying to gank each other, and we're all trying to get in this fortress. But on, you know, Guild Wars, no, it's like a 2-3 person are trying to get into a fortress. Now, the potential, I feel, is greater in Guild Wars because the maps are beautiful. There's just so much going on. But in the not World of Warcraft, the Elder Scrolls, you have this massive Cyrodiil landscape that you can go around, do quests in, or invade and kill other keeps. Well, not invade keeps and kill people. So you have those two things going on, and it's in Cyrodiil, so you can pretty much, Cyrodiil's like a war zone that you can quest in. And it's not technically a war zone because you get the feeling that, you know, Cyrodiil's just an area. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people going around and taking keeps as well. So that's one of the interesting aspects about the Elder Scrolls Online, is that you have this lore going on and you could feel it. Now, as far as potential goes, I feel like the Elder Scrolls has the potential to improve even more. Now, Guild Wars 2 from the start was a very well thought out game plan. I feel like the Guild Wars 2 was polished when it first came out. It was something new, it was fresh, I was feeling it. Nobody else has done it, but it has its flaws. For example, I can't ride a mount in Guild Wars 2. At least not that I know of, because nobody else has had a mount since the game started. Now, the Guild Wars 2 has more to offer, as in more shit that is going on. But Guild Wars 2 has also been going on for a longer time. It's, you know, it's been released for longer than Elder Scrolls Online has. However, I feel like Elder Scrolls has caught up somewhat behind Guild Wars 2 as far as content goes, because they have all these other expansions that you could buy that I still haven't played yet, and I'm looking forward to playing these expansions and hopefully giving you guys an idea of what to expect. Now, Guild Wars 2 is free to play. Elder Scrolls is not. You can buy Elder Scrolls for $30 and it's free to play after that. Or you could buy the expansions to get more access to more content. So there you go. You got free to play with a little bit better graphics, a little bit more stuff to do. And you have the Elder Scrolls. It has a lot of stuff to do. Don't get me wrong. The Elder Scrolls has a champion system, but so does Guild Wars 2. You have your crafting. You could research crafting. You could literally do a lot of stuff in the Elder Scrolls that I really haven't touched on, and a lot of things on Guild Wars that I haven't even touched on yet. I will go more in depth. I will probably write an article about that, because it would be such a long video just explaining all the different things you get to do. But this is just why you should return to Elder Scrolls 2017 right now if you have an account. Or if you're thinking about buying a game, why you should buy the Elder Scrolls Online. Buy into the Elder Scrolls Online. Number one, you're not going to pay like World of Warcraft. One of the things that I hate about World of Warcraft is, you know, sometimes, example, me, I'm busy sometimes. I can't play this game all the time, and there's a subscription, so it kind of forces you to play. I don't have the time to play. I'm probably not going to play Elder Scrolls anymore for a while, at least maybe 2 or 3 times a month. That sucks. I don't want to be paying monthly So if you don't want to be paying monthly for a game that is fun to play, it's pretty much Elder Scrolls but with other people playing and killing you also, I would definitely check out the Elder Scrolls right now. As in 2017, the first quarter, it's actually really fun to play, to be honest. It's kind of addicting now. I used to get bored of this game. Now I really find it hard to drop it. You know, I have responsibilities and things that, you know, make me drop the game, but you know, if I could be playing it for like 2-4 hours, I would definitely be paying this game for 2-4 hours. Playing this game for 2 or 4 hours. It's really fun, you guys. There's a lot of, you can mix and match skills and classes. It's so cool, dude. Dudes and female dudes, or whatever you identify as. It's awesome, you guys. Definitely check it out. And now they're also having another expansion, which is Morrowind. I can't wait to see what this game develops into. It's, you know, it's hitting its maturity for an MMO. There's a lot of things to do. It's really interesting. At first, it just seemed like a spin-off MMO, you know, a spin-off game. But there's more to it. It's actually got some depth to it now. It's not just Elder Scrolls Online. It has earned its right as a game. Now, also, if you're into the Elder Scrolls, what is it, lore? There's a lot of lore books laying around, and I know a lot of us dweebs sit down or love to play Elder Scrolls and read all the books that we find laying around. And they're introducing more books, more lore, and it's really interesting. I really recommend you guys, if you love the Elder Scrolls, give this a try, and if you have tried it before, give it one more try. It's awesome. You're not gonna regret trying it again, or you're not gonna regret even making your first purchase into this game. It's really amazing, you guys. Check it out, and if you do check it out, why don't you consider joining the Daggerfall Covenant and helping me out take out everybody else and become an emperor? Once again, you guys, thank you so much for checking out our videos, liking our channel, subscribing to our channel actually, and liking our videos. So thank you guys so much. We really can't be doing this without you. There is no point in releasing videos if nobody's gonna watch. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. We've actually made our first couple pennies. Thank you, guys. Keep watching these videos and help us out grow. Tell your friends about us. It's gonna help us out a lot. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Hit the comments, actually. Hit the comment section. Ask me questions. Ask us questions about what you're interested in. Let us, I mean, not tell us what you're interested in, not ask us questions, but, you know, thank you so much, you guys. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, guys. This is Francis. I'll be talking to you guys sooner or later, eventually, right?